And hello, my fellow nerds. This is Oracle Nerd here, and welcome back once again to Starfallen Strength. So last time we got through I believe could be the prologue to the game, but now we have a couple of characters that that we can hang out with if we want to. So it's kind of like it's kind of like those moments in many other games, like Fire Emblem. At least at least what it makes me think of. I don't actually play Fire Emblem. I've never been interested in the game itself, but okay. But who I want to hang out with, I actually have no clue. Um, but I think I'm gonna go with I think I'm gonna go with the the Luna girl over here. I literally immediately forgot what her name was. I'm gonna go with her because I don't know. I feel like she might be my favorite character in this game so far, aside from Dion, of course. So yeah, let's go spend time with her. I passed through Skyward's gardens. I could barely call it could hardly be called a farm, but it grows what little food we can be harvested on the mountainside. It's springtime and the garden is in full bloom. There, there's a section of for alchemical alchemical alchemical. I'm going with alchemical ingredients carefully tended in the greenhouse. There's a handful of bee boxes that keep them pollinated. In return, we collect their honey, good in tea and brewed for mead. It's a quiet place. I I like to I like to get the fresh air and clear my head and lungs. Taking a deep breath, there's a wheezy rattle in my lungs. I let out a swift cough to clear it out. Noticing a familiar figure nearby, I cleared my throat to announce my presence. Zavi, that was her name. Zavi jumps, a hand clutching her chest. Ah, forgive me. I did not see you there. Sorry for startling you. I didn't know you'd be so jumpy. I didn't know you to be so jumpy. Not usually, but I. They glanced around nervously, my eyes narrow. Have I caught you in the middle of something? Hmm? No, just running an errand. You look as though we are about to be beset upon. Well, we quite might be. Her voice rises in pitch, brows drawing together. They quickly shake themselves off. It is not pressing, nor particularly dangerous. I'd show you if you have the time. Interest piqued, I followed after as they head to the greenhouse. They, gl- they glance above our heads, cringing away. It's peculiar behavior, and yet I find myself looking around as well. Are you looking for someone? Yes, they rap on the door of the greenhouse, which swings open. There's a quiet buzzing inside. An older woman stands there, wrinkles heavy beneath her eyes. Ah, come for your delivery. Just a moment. They stand fidgeting at the end of the door, keeping a watchful eye. A curious honeybee flies outwards, and they sneeze their eyes shut in terror, but it pays us no mind, and flies off to its hive. I lower my voice, stepping forward. Priest Lunahand, if you're allergic to bee stings, I recommend that you should not frequent this place. I greatly appreciate your concern, but it is unnecessary. I've never had any adverse effects other than. They cringe again as Nerve flies by. The beekeeper hands them a cloth wrapped in a thread cord, and they accept it with a bow of their head. Thank you, ma'am. Please keep well. Very good to see you. I promise. They really mean no harm, my dear. They make a weak, agreeable noise and quickly shuffle off as I trail behind them with a questioning look. You're terrified of honeybees? They can sting you. They have stingers just for that purpose. Only as a last resort. If they feel deeply threatened, it costs them their lives. Are you doing threat? Are you doing threatening things to bees? The beekeeper recommended just staying very still when I visit. Tease them, comfort them. Why would I tease them about it? Like, if someone is afraid of something, there's probably a good reason for it. Comfort them. I'm certain that's the right thing to do then. If she suggested it, they must know they must know you mean no harm. I hope so. Their eyes they shut their eyes and shudder. Forgive me, it is such an instinctual gut reaction for me, regardless of all the facts. It's quite alright, but you're safe now. We're far enough away. They let a breath, shoulders dropping. I'd be a poor knight if I let them hurt you. They let out a soft laugh, glancing away. You're different here than you are in the temple. They blink. Well, the circumstances change. The temple is is a peaceful place where others look to me for guidance. Here there are things quite outside of my control, such as bees. Is it only bees you're frightened of? I am not particularly fond of most insects, in truth. Even ladybugs? Lenny used to sit in the grass when we were girls and let them run up her arms. They shuddered at the thought, twisting their neck. Oh, I don't really enjoy anything crawling on me. Even just the thought of it scares you? I suppose you're not scared of most things. That's hardly true. I've had a hard time believing that. I'm afraid of the dark. When I was little, my father had to do an had to find an ever-burning candle for my room. I still can't sleep without a little bit of light. I always have the curtains cracked to let in the moonlight. Their eyes light up. You might have I might have something for you then. Come with me if you please. They led me into the fortress, gathering their skirts as we ascend the winding stone staircase. Illuminated by the light of the battlement window, the cool spring air, with the cool spring air, we arrive outside the chamber door in a long hallway. Some of the Sky Ward have their own private chambers, and as our priest of Alir, they've been afforded the luxury. They they fish a silver ring of keys from their robes and let me in. The every chambers are kept meticulously tidy. The bed is made with the corners tight, the curtains draped elegantly. The shelves of the room are neatly lined with crystals, seemingly grouped by color and size. In the corner, there is a rocking chair with a woven basket on the ground. They placed the package they got from the beekeeper there. You never explained why you braved the bees in the first place. Ah, they unwrap it carefully, showing me beeswax. I use it to refill the candles in the temple. Surely one of the parishioners wouldn't mind running the errand for you. I would not ask such a thing. They come for me for comfort, not to find work. What if they got stung and had a bad reaction to it? How could I ever forgive myself? They pla- they placed the wax into the basket, stacking it neatly with the others. What did you want to show me? They gestured to the shelves of crystals with a sweep of their hand. I have an affinity for crystals. My gift from Elir is the ability to enchant and enhance their magical properties. I noticed the ones you had at the temple. Amethyst and rose quartz. A way to bring balance and peace to those who come seeking it. A calming aura to soothe the troubled hearts and minds. Which ones are your staff? Are in your staff? These are moonstone, the most beloved by Alir. I have always found it soothing and it assists in my healing magic. You've amassed quite the collection. Over many years, yes. When I learned my abilities are connected with crystals, I sought them out wherever I could. I've been sold I've been sold a few fakes, but these here are all genuine. They're also beautiful. I point to one on the higher shelf. That one is lovely. They take it down, turning it over in their hand, a smooth blue rock with glittering points within the field of stars in the night sky. Blue aventurine, a stone for inner strength. It's special for the color. Most aventurine is green, but I would recommend this to anyone who is in need of clear decisions and the mind and body working in tandem. Does your magic work in such a way? It enhances the natural properties of the crystal. I would sit quietly with the person and help them talk out what they're lacking. The magic helps them clear their mind and focus on their own intuition. Perhaps I should come to you next time I require a decision. It would be my dearest pleasure to help. Speaking of, they place the adventuring back and pull down a purple stone and place it in my hand. Their hand hovers for a moment, our fingertips brushing against each other. Sugarlight, the perfect stone for infusing. They shut their eyes. The stone begins to glow. With with light in the darkest of nights, it will also give you a pleasant dreams. They release into my hands and I stare down at it. I could not take it from you. What good is a collection of healing crystals if they are not allowed to perform their duty? May it serve you well with restful nights. Thank you, you're too kind. Their ears warm from the slight tint in their as their eyes dart to the side. It is no trouble, truly. Do you have a favorite? Hard to pick only one, especially with such a varied lot. Which one helps others? Which one helps you? Uh, which one helps you? Are there any you use for yourself? What do you mean? You've explained how they help amplify your healing magic, and how to calm a crowd of wary people, but none of you use on yourself. Ah. They pause for a moment, scanning the shells before plucking one to show me, a deep blue. I find myself often using azurite as part of my meditations. I like to have it near me while I read or refill the candles. It allows me to clear my mind and recenter myself. Occasionally, the stress of leading the temple and attending to the healing of so many can be burdensome. They glance at me quickly. Not that I dislike such a thing, but I find myself in need of time to clear my mind of worries. It helps with that, and I'm glad it does. I'm glad it does. And should you ever wish for your ear for an ear as well as a crystal, I would not mind being called upon to lessen your burdens. Uh, that that is kind, but truly, they are not such a worry. They place it back and carefully adjust all the ones that had been disturbed until they're perfectly in line. Thank you for showing me your collection. Thank you for allowing me your time. I'm certain there are more pressing matters. I don't mind taking time for you. A little warmth rises to her cheeks as they clear their throat. These two are adorable together. There are these beautiful flowers that my family cultivates. I brought the seeds with me so they could grow here in the garden. Blue ter, blue ternatia. It makes delicious tea, especially with honey. Worth risking the bees for? They laugh. Indeed, but I enjoy a cup of morning in the mornings. Perhaps if you found yourself free, you might care to join me? I would like that. They give me a warm smile, dimples showing. W Wonderful. I shall look forward to it. I'll not keep you any longer, Petra. I don't mind being kept here. I can't imagine a more relaxing place. You are welcome any time. They get the door from me. I give them one last smile before heading out. Oh, that was cool. Oh, we can hang out with other people now. All right. So that was That's interesting. Okay, so we got a prisoner. We got oh no, Idris. I think his name is Idris, right? Idris. Colette. It's gonna take me a while to get used to each of their names. Hmm. Um. Let's go check on Idris or Idris, I guess. The following day comes. I can't shake the thought of that prisoner Idris hasn't eaten yet. The thought occurs to me that I could burden someone else with a particular task, but I'm not so cruel. My steps echo through the space as I make my way down the steps, a plate of leftovers from our meal the night before in hand. I expect them to be asleep in the cell when I arrive, but they're sit cross-legged in the book from last time in their lap. He seems engrossed. His eyes drift up to meet mine, slow and lethargic. They widen, making his already large eyes even more so. They shoot they shoot to their feet, the book falling from before falling. Have you eaten? He shakes his head. I know how he doesn't look at the food in my hands, his eyes never leaving mine. Don't try anything. I'm going to open the door to your cell. My voice resounds in the chambers, hopefully intimidating them. I hate to get into a fight today. He stands seemingly disinterested, though it could very well be his way of trying to get my guard down. I give him no such luxury. You came to question me further? He sounds intrigued. Of all things, I dropped the plate on the ground, shutting the cell door with no issue. I sigh deeply. If you intend to answer my questions, I didn't come to just talk. Can I also ask questions? My body flinches in response to that. I don't intend to play games. I reiterate in warnings, though this time it doesn't seem to be as effective. A proposal then. If you answer a question of mine, I'll answer one of yours. Or I could just as well leave. They actually found at that something like guilt twisting my heart. Fine. There's nothing of note to learn from me anyway. At least this way, I might be able to bring something valuable back to the others. Could even save our skins. That was a small enough trade-off. From where do you hail? Jacklear. He sneers in response, rolling his eyes for a moment. I've no ulterior motive. I'm curious, is all. Why? Nothing I can think of makes sense. Did he intend to get one over me? Is this a plot for revenge? Codex Cloudvale. Huh? I was born and raised in Cloudvale. Wait, Codex. Oh, so it's Cloudvale, a town located in South Jacklear, where Petra grew up. Oh. So Codex is just like a guide for the world. That makes sense. What of you? Solaris. It, he pettily gives a vague answer. Where in Solaris? Frustrating, is it not? I don't owe you a detailed response, or any for that matter. They smirk and triumph despite what I say. Nassau? I've been there, though I've never seen anyone there wear the garments you do. That's a Sparrow style in tailoring. A good eye. You're not wrong. The shop I purchased the scarf from. The shop owner is from Sparris originally. Name of the shop? Beacon, Beacon Clothing. I missed it in great detail. It closed down a few years ago. Convenient. Let me guess. Burnt down. He chuckles wryly. Funny, but no. The building still stands. It's simply abandoned. Unless it's been occupied since I've been gone. It's a large city. There's no shortage of abandoned buildings. Indeed, I've met a few who've ever been. My uncle used to make my siblings and I on take my siblings and I on trips there. There there was a man who bought all parts of a creature. Your uncle? Mercer? No, my uncle Charles. He did work for for Monster Hunter with Mercer when I was young. Oh, okay. Oh, also, this also gives you a good chance to bring up. So Mercer is. I was actually told by one of the writers of this, one of the developers, I guess, that Mercer is actually was actually mentioned, and we actually even see Mercer in Ducky, the visual novel I played before this one. So I guess this one takes place after Ducky. At least that's what I think. Like that's my theory, at least. But like Mercer was like a friend of Garrett. Uh, the Garrett from the Dread Guard. Yeah, the same Dread Guard. Any anyways, do you have family? I'm an orphan. Grew up in many a household. I'd rather not speak of those times. I understand. My father grew up as an orphan, too, as are all of my siblings. Something flashes in his eyes, and his laid back demeanor deteriorates a little. Perhaps I hit too close to home. How many siblings do you have? Nine currently. I wouldn't be surprised if there's another one when I come back to visit. I'm almost convinced my parents are collecting them at this rate. So you're not an orphan. I'm not. I'm the only biological child my parents ever had. It opens the door to a tale I'd much rather not discuss, especially with a near stranger. I'd rather not speak of that either. So it's just you. No siblings, friends, a lover? No. Do you have a lover? Is this pertinent? You asked me. No, I don't. Do you want one? It's my turn to ask a question. No, you asked if my question was pertinent. So answer, do you want a lover? My face is red, I know it is. My limbs might just go numb from all the blood flowing to my cheeks. I don't know. It's not a priority. He nods. I can't make sense of why he'd ask, but he seems satisfied with my answer. For some reason, what a strange person. Why do you ask? I suspected you were spoken for, or that perhaps you weren't interested in things like romance. Of course I do. I pale at my objection. I'm losing more of my composure by the minute. Rather, my goal isn't to avoid love. I've never been in love. I read it in books, but I know not what it's like to be, or if it's even real. It's real. For some, anyway. Maybe you don't desire it. I do. This conversation, interrogation, has taken a complete wrong turn, but I'd be lying if I said I was hating my time. They were always intriguing. I couldn't make sense of them at all. Not that I could with people normally, but it was proving impossible with them. I'm done here. Whose turn is it? Ooh, actually, I genuinely don't really know. Like, Idris does interest me as a character. Like, we know very, very little about him, except that his clothing is Sparrow styled, and he actually comes from somewhere else, Solaris, specifically Nassau. Uh, honestly, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind keep talking, mind talking to him some more, because I actually kind of want to know more about them a little bit because once I do, then I can actually cast a little bit of judgment on how I feel about them. Like honestly, they're an interesting character. Whose turn is it? Whose turn is it? Shit, use my question. His shoulders shook from a chuckle, giving me a soft smile. You can go. So you read romance? I didn't until recently. He looks he looks to the book splayed out on the ground. How do you know love to be real? You sounded sure. My parents. There's no one of them without the other. If one were to go, the other is sure to follow. You miss them? I'm fine. We write often. If I think too long about them, it'll sour my mood for the day. I've learned better. Do you prefer to read historical texts? I do. I prefer nonfiction, anecdotes, and published studies. My uncle Etienne, growing up, he told me fiction was a study of the soul. He's he's a writer. He says all sorts of flowery things like that. I squint at the floors, it just following my gaze. He raises an eyebrow in question. I think he might have written that book you're reading. Their eyes widening, looking at the cover, inspecting it as if it were a set of flame. After a couple moments, he finds it and mouths my uncle's name. Etienne Snow. You're serious? They read it a few times to confirm. I don't joke. I lie even less. You're no fool. Jokes and gags are for other bumbling morons that wander down here. He shudders a little. Like that blonde girl. She's hulking with eyes of like glass gems. Correct, Idris? She can be a lot. Ooh. I kind of do want to correct him, but I'm not an a-hole. Lennon could be annoying, I suppose. I suppose I wasn't used to many thinking that way. She was just Lennon. I'd grown used to her eccentrics, her taking up every space she entered. She was like the sun that sometimes got in your eyes, and or got caught behind a cloud. She can be quite a lot. She means no harm, though. She's my cousin, but but I also consider her a friend. Everyone is bound to annoy you in one way or another. Their face goes red. Uh, I didn't know. Had I'd never. You both are just so different. She may seem flighty, but you wouldn't want your life in anyone else's hands. I'm the fool. You did end up here. It's hard to stay mad at him when he classes every passing moment beneath my gaze. I plan to stay until I've gotten the answer I seek, and that'll take time. You won't have much left. His eyes widened as if I just drew my sword and pointed at his neck. You intend to execute me? I shake my head in absurdity. No, you'll be held elsewhere. We'll keep prisoners here. At least not for long. I see. Codex, Jacklear. So no trouble from you, otherwise that you may well be up for the guillotine. Jacklear courts can deal out harsh punishments for petty crimes. Footsteps approach quickly. By the weight of the speed, I can't tell whose they belong to. Petra? You you brought food to Iddy. You brought Iddy food today? Iddy? I ask unable to suppress my laugh. Iddy puffs up like a parakeet. She insists on calling me that. Lynn sticks out her tongue so innocently. Okay, maybe now I can see why he's so bothered by her. It it was only funny because it wasn't me. Does that mean I can eat this? She asks, pointing the plate in her hand. It just hasn't so much as looked at the food I brought them. It's all yours. Just like that, she lunges at it like a dog wanting to release their release command. Do you not like the food? I don't eat much. Explains why your arms are so small. It just sneers, but thinks better of it and endures her teasing. Don't be all mopey. I brought those books I promised. Their brow furrows, looking at me like I'd put her up to it. I shake my head. He looks at Lennon's hands, taking the books from her slowly, bewildered by the gesture. There's a barely audible thanks that follows. Papa is fond of this one. The author? He seems to piece it together. That's right. You seem to be a big fan of his work. She smiles triumphantly as if she wrote it herself. Oh, Verona mentioned he won't be transferred to another month for another month or so. Heard you guys talking about it. Despite myself, I'm pleased by the news. I sure hope the charges will be minimal and they learn their lesson. Maybe I was being naive, but my gut told me that there was far more that I wasn't privy to. It was too soon to tell, but there's something about him that's harmless. Whatever his motives were, I hope he'd tell me. I hope it made sense, and that this was all a misunderstanding. Seeing Lennon be friendly with him, there must be some good in them. I'll bring you your food tomorrow. Leaving so soon? I have much work to get to. He mulls it over for a good moment. Will you be back the same time? I nod. They seem content with that. Oh, okay, so I'm guessing we can spend time with everybody then. Alright, let's go see what Colette's doing. I was up before the sun, walking the grounds in an attempt to wake up fully. Crow of a rooster rings throughout the space. Shh, Rocky! You made me drop my arrow. I know you don't care. It's good to know we're not the only ones who talk to him like that. She turns to me as I arrive. Her eyes are turning more playful now. He knows what he's doing. The rooster bobs its head as it strokes away. My eyes are find the target face. Nearly one of the every 5 arrows or so are set on a bullseye, or a hair short of it. You're quite the shot. I am? Don't ask as if you don't know. My head turns to the direction of my cousin's voice, her gaze meeting mine. You're speaking to the 3-time winner of the Eagle Eye Archery Championship title. I look to Colette, who shrugs it off. There were never that many participants. She competed against hunters selected from other noble houses, some of which being well-renowned bounty hunters. Skyward really does their research on their recruits, don't they? Of course. Nothing gets past Petra. Her, fa- her father, my Uncle Lawrence, he can always tell if you're lying. Colette grips her face, shaking her head. I didn't intend to lie. It was all it was all meant in jest. There's too much pressure when it comes to that championship title. My intention wasn't to embarrass you or expose you, Lady Fontaine. Thank the angels. I'd hate to be under your scrutiny. How how has the prisoner not completely given themselves up? It was a good question, but Petra doesn't give much away. It's not our place to speak on it, at least not without Verona around at least. A world championship? That sounds amazing. Maybe I should compete someday. I love to see that. You could be a champion and represent House Fontaine. We only accept the best. Oh, Lennon, you'd simply adore it. My family organizes the field day every spring. There's live music, food, games, and of course prizes. Prizes can be anything, from a hideaway to Villas of Costa, a year's supply of dried mutton, a kiss from yours truly. A kiss? Were you okay with that? I've never I've never done it before, but perhaps if it's appealing enough, I might just do it this year. Would you like to come back with me later this spring? That's usually when my family hosts. You and the rest of Skyward are also invited, dearest Petra. If Lennon goes, it's best I stay, though I am honored by your invitation. What say you, Lennon? I'd love to. I'd love to. I'm so glad. I'll have to send word to my parents. It's a date. I nod, now at a loss for words, as I keep finding myself thinking about what kind of kiss the prize would be. I couldn't bring myself to ask, as my mind drifted how soft her lips must be. My arm hair bristles as I notice Petra giving me a knowing look. So, did you both come to practice? I don't see why not. I look to Petra, who nods. Delightful. I've been told I make a fine teacher. Who'd like to go first? Colette's big eyes settle on me first, almost pleading. You should choose Lennon. She's eager, I can tell. She takes a seat in one of the bales of straw, setting her sword by her side, now watching us. I roll my shoulders. I'm itching to prove myself. I haven't done all that much shooting, but perhaps it's about time I do. There was so much Verona could do. If I had to take her if I had to take her spot, I needed to be more versatile at very least. Colette first goes to remove all of her arrows from the target, returning she first shows me how to properly load and draw the bow. Her bow is light, but especially taut. It takes a greater deal of muscle to draw than I expect, for such a small, cute thing like Colette. She circles me for a moment, studying it, readjusting my arm with the bow a couple times, even fastening the arm guard onto me. Make sure you don't point the arrow at anyone as soon as it's knocked. She, she also instructs me not to draw the bow without an arrow loaded in first. I learned it can make the bow explode due to the energy not being transferred to the arrow. Rocky crosses our line of sight before I can shoot a single arrow. Rocky, out of the way, you're going to get skewered. That does little to ward him away. This stubborn. I know they mean rooster. I know they mean rooster or a male. or male chicken, but like, do I say it? Do I say this? I don't know if I want to say it for the sake of the video. Like, for context, I mean an animal. Okay, it's talking about an animal. This stubborn cock. I'm going to, I'm going to call Calliope. That stops the chicken in his tracks. He heads flicking to and fro for a moment, as it, as if sensing a predator in his vicinity, and promptly darts off. A moment later, Colette lifts her arm, and a glorious falcon sits up on her gloved arm. Well, good morning, gorgeous girl. Good morning, Calliope. Her sharp eyes dart towards mine. I jump a little at the suddenness and intensity. She never done anything to me to warrant such a response, but that was the mark of a true huntress. Calliope is surprised to see you with a bow in hand. She's not all that fond of them. I nod, swallowing. Don't be like that. I'm sure she's not going to misfire. Have a little more faith in me, dear girl. Join Petra then, you big chicken. Calliope fixates on Colette, who gaze fixed on Colette, who snickers in response. She takes flight, and I watch as Petra stabs her sword in the ground for the chicken to perch on. I can tell Petra wants to pet her, but she is too shy to ask. Make sure to make sure to sight down the line notch, like so. She gives me a demonstration, taking a perfect stance. I do my best to mimic it, but even so, I can feel it's off immediately. Oh, look at this! She stands behind me, adjusting once again, but this time her chest pressed to my back. My entire body turns to stone. I'm sure I resemble one of those hunting dogs the ones that point. my my skin goes red all around my shoulders. I'm certain it's not just the sun. Look at them, they're so cute. She touches my elbow. I hear a hiss from her. She As she pulls back a bit, she continues to settle her hand there despite it. I look back at her. It's nothing. Look, you need to relax here. My other hand traces Her other hand traces mine positioned on the end of the bow. You don't know your own strength. You need to control it. Breathe a little. I do as instructed, focusing on my energy into relaxing. But with every trace of her velvety soft hands, it grows increasingly more difficult. Try bringing your right hand to your mouth and use it as a guide. She chuckles, low and smooth. But don't put it in your mouth. She teases. I see her in my peripheral, her eyes on my lip. Her eyes on my lips. Do you feel that tension? That's why you have to relax it. Relax into it. Let all the energy move from you to the bow. Then it goes completely silent. Not even the winds move. Release. I let go, and the shot hits just above the bullseye. It might not have been perfect, but it was better than I was expecting. I hear a soft clap from the sidelines. I bow, drawing a giggle from her, filling me to brim with self-satisfaction. You take direction exceedingly well. I had a good teacher. You're stellar, Lennon. If only I could be a champion. She faces me now, staring me down. Her eyes are beckoning something out of me. I probably should back down, but I don't. Is that a challenge? I won't go easy on you. I know what you're capable of. I'd hate it if you did. She bites her lip, considering something. Challenge accepted. In the corner of my eye, I catch our courier delivers something to Petra. She takes a look at it, redirecting them to Colette. Lady Fontaine, apologies. Didn't think you'd be in the training grounds. What's this? A letter from your parents, I believe. Her eyebrows furrow, handing the letter back with disinterest, as if the paper had been used like a tissue or the like. Are you sure you don't want it? I was asked that you send word back this time. They can wait another week. I'm busy. They worry far too much. If you're right back, get back to practice. Ooh, so she has a troubled She has a troubled relationship with her parents, I assume. I see. Should we get back to practice or I mean, I feel like she could write back to her parents. Like if it's a bit troublesome, I suppose. I really don't know what to do here. um, yeah, but then again, like I understand wanting to be like with someone that you care about or you're friends with or something, but family kind of does come first. Wait, I did save, right? Yes, I did. Okay. You should write back. If I may, I think you should send word. Skyward activities can be dangerous. It would be more troublesome if they set a search party after you. She seemed surprised, but she seemed surprised I said anything. But slowly, I watch her grow less apprehensive about the idea. Very well. I'll have a letter for you to deliver in the morning. Th- Thank you, my lady. He takes his leave soon, a satchel full of various other letters to deliver. I frown a little. I hadn't received one. Maybe I should have a letter sent to my father's too. It hasn't been long since we last spoke. But I realize I never go out of my way to send them a letter first. I wonder if that made them sad. It's not that I don't want to speak to them. It's just every time we do, they always bring up how infrequent our communication is. Not to mention, they almost always try to talk me out of staying here. That does sound frustrating, but I think it's just one of our responsibilities. I just wish I could pull off all the paperwork on my desk, but it's necessary as Grand Commander. You may not be royalty here, but even members of Skyward have things we can't put off or ignore. You're right. I'm sorry. I must seem like such a spoiled brat. No, not at all. I do understand. I'm telling myself as much as I'm telling you. Verona told me a lot of this stuff, but I do think she was right, unfortunately. Hmm. Unfortunate indeed. Why must life be this way? Why can't we all be in the field eating grapes somewhere? You could feed them to me, and I to you. That does sound nice. Perhaps we should make it a reward then, for when we dealt with all other annoyances. Another prize, you mean? Does that motivate you? It certainly does me. It does. I'll keep that in mind. I go to pick up the arrows, eager to continue, and Colette is by my side, not long after. The rest of the afternoon I spent perfecting my aim, trying not to get distracted by Colette as I do. I'm getting the hang of this, I can tell. Hold on. Her face turns. I turn to face her, eyebrow cocked. The wind, the wind should have steered your arrow left. Somehow, mid-flight, it veered right. Very odd. Huh? I wonder how that happened. Lennon, you didn't cheat, did you? No? I barked back, offended. Okay, maybe you didn't do it consciously, but your magic. I think you might have used it without thinking. I looked to my hands, thinking. It was becoming a sort of mindless task now. I suppose it could be considered cheating. Magic isn't allowed in archery competitions, but in battle there are no such rules. I think if magic helps you fall an enemy, then you should use it. Still cheating. I could do without it. So can I. Do it then. I pick up the bow, focusing hard not to use it. My arrow goes left, almost off the target face itself. Okay, maybe there was more work to it, but I try my best. I promise not to notice Petra's smirk. I'll prove her wrong, damn it. You'll get the hang of it. You're a quick learner. Petra rolls her eyes and takes her leave. We'll see tomorrow morning. I'll be there. Okay. Well then, I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave this video here for now. Actually, this is actually a really fun game. Fun game. I love it so far, and I really, really like all the character development that's going on. They're like the way that they interact with each other is just really, really good. And I honestly wish I could write something like that because you guys probably do, some of you probably know this, some of you probably don't. But I've actually been working on a small little comic series of my own called Twinge of Care. You should definitely check it out. I have a Tumblr linked in my Discord. Uh, but I but like I think my writing there is just at least mid at best. But you should at least check it out to see if you like it or not. But anyways, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think, share this video with your friends, and be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. And I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.